Off sometimes combines with verbs to express the idea of something or someone leaving a place. Listen and repeat after me. Lift off. Lift off. Leave the ground of a spacecraft. For example, the space shuttle will lift off at 9 o'clock. Head off. Head off. Start a journey or leave a place. For example, we should head off at about 6 tomorrow. Send off. Send off. Send a letter, document or parcel by post. For example, I've sent off the documents to the lawyer. Slip off. Slip off. Leave a place quietly so that other people do not notice you going. For example, let's try and slip off before the meeting finishes and go for a drink. Clear off. Clear off. Leave a place quickly. For example, why did he just clear off without saying goodbye? Clear off. This is private property. Off sometimes expresses the idea of moving towards an ending or a change of state. I'll come and see you off at the airport tomorrow. It means, go to the airport in order to say goodbye. My cousin has sold off his share of the company he started with a friend. It means, sold all, or part of a business. Please could you run off 20 copies of the agenda for the meeting this afternoon? It means, if you run off copies of something, you print them. She's so clever. She can run off a statement for the press in half an hour. It would take me all day. It means, quickly and easily write something that is usually difficult to write. Mr. Prosser suddenly looked very pale and broke off in the middle of his lecture. It means, suddenly stopped speaking. After lunch Grandpa dozed off on the sofa. It means, gradually started to sleep, especially during the day. At the end of this lesson, we will practice some exercises and quizzes. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like. Other expressions with off. What he said has put me off the idea of going to Blandville for a holiday altogether. It means, made me not like something. His description of the hotel was very off-putting. It means, made something sound unattractive or unpleasant. Maybe we should hold off and go to Paris or somewhere in the spring. It means, delay doing something. I think I've managed to turn him off the idea of building a model railway track in the back garden. It means, make someone decide that they are not interested in something. She didn't get offended by the comment, she just laughed it off. It means, laughed about something unpleasant in order to make it seem less important or serious. Complete these sentences. 1. The company is not doing very well. Isn't it time you sold off your shares in it? 2. We were talking to Matilda when she suddenly broke off in the middle of a sentence and ran out of the room. 3. I thought it was very rude of him just to clear off like that without saying goodbye. 4. Would you like me to come and see you off at the station? 5. I thought I'd head off fairly soon. I've got to get up early tomorrow. But thank you for a lovely party. 6. I was so tired that I just dozed off in front of the television. 7. You mustn't forget to send off that birthday card this afternoon. 8. A large crowd gathered to watch the rocket lift off. Replace the underlined words in these sentences with phrasal verbs. 1. It won't take him long to do the letters you asked him to do. It won't take him long to run off the letters you asked him to do. 2. I often fall asleep in boring lectures. I often doze off in boring lectures. 3. Let's try and leave quietly before the others wake up. Let's try and slip off before the others wake up. 4. In the middle of a long speech, the actor suddenly stopped and ran off the stage. In the middle of a long speech, the actor suddenly broke off and ran off the stage. 5. I've put all the Christmas presents for abroad in the post. I've sent all the Christmas presents for abroad off. Or I've sent off all the Christmas presents for abroad. 6. The school disco has given her quite negative feelings about discos in general. The school disco has put her off discos in general. Or the school disco has turned her off discos in general. 7. Tell that boy in our front garden to leave at once. He's annoying the dog. Tell that boy in our front garden to clear off. He's annoying the dog. 8. Fortunately, he didn't take the criticism of his acting seriously. Fortunately, he laughed off the criticism of his acting. Or he laughed the criticism of his acting off. 9. I'll print a copy of the report for you. I'll run off a copy of the report for you. Answer these questions using full sentences. 1. If someone criticized your hairstyle, would you laugh it off or get very upset? I think I'd probably just laugh it off. 2. What kind of programs are most likely to make you doze off in front of the television? I'd be most likely to doze off in front of a political discussion. 3. If you go on a journey on your own, who usually sees you off? My husband, son, and dog usually see me off if I go on a journey on my own. 4. Can you run off an English essay quickly? Or does it take you a long time? I can usually run off an English essay quickly as long as the subject is not too difficult. 5. Why might a lecturer break off in the middle of a talk? A lecturer might break off in the middle of a talk if someone raised their hand to ask a question. 6. If you plan to slip off during a party, how are you intending to go? If you plan to slip off during a party, you're intending to go quietly without letting anyone know that you have gone. 7. If someone tells some young people to clear off, how do you think that person probably feels about them? If someone tells some young people to clear off, they probably feel cross or annoyed with them. 8. Name something that might put you off eating your dinner. I might be put off eating my dinner if I saw a hair on the plate. Rewrite these sentences using a phrasal verb that means the opposite of the underlined verb. Make any other necessary changes. 1. I'm going to meet Artem at the airport tomorrow. I'm going to see Artem off at the airport tomorrow. Or I'm going to see off Artem at the airport tomorrow. 2. I've just received a letter from Elizabeth. I've just sent off a letter to Elizabeth. Or I've sent a letter to Elizabeth off. 3. The rocket is due to land tomorrow at noon. The rocket is due to lift off tomorrow at noon. 4. I hope I've managed to interest him in the idea of redecorating the house. I hope I've managed to turn him off the idea of redecorating the house. Or I hope I've managed to put him off the idea of redecorating the house. 5. I woke up when all the others went off to play tennis. I dozed off when all the others went off to play tennis. 6. We're planning to arrive in the early evening. We're planning to head off in the early evening. In the next video, I will teach you some phrasal verbs with on and in. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Have a good time.